Dire team.
Venomancer.
What's up, guys, and welcome back to the final day of the SLI South American Qualifiers. SG Esports going to be going up against Luccini in the lower bracket finals to determine who has the honor, the privilege to face up against DCSA in Grands. That one's going to be happening right after this. I'm Mike Loris, going to be your caster for this game. Luccini have a couple of mis-tagged up people. I'm pretty sure Madara66 was either a stand-in or just not here yesterday, and Senior Vac should be Zinder. So I think that's what's happening right now, although I'm not really sure because, you know, it happens. Sometimes it's weird. But either way, we have ourselves a draft, and it should be a pretty close match between these two teams. Seen a lot of good displays from both of these guys. Definitely capable of taking one another down, and especially if, no, it's not going to be what I thought it was actually going to be. Keep in mind that Luccini did knock out SG Esports of the winners bracket in the earlier phase of this tournament. So, you know, Luccini have SG Esports number at least some of the time, but that was a 2-1, so it could definitely go either way. I would expect this game to go for 3 games either. Again, the grand finals are right after this, so we obviously that game obviously can't start until this one is over. So schedule is perfectly ironed out. We're in good shape. SG Esports going to go ahead and open up with a Rubik and a Nyx Assassin. Pretty interesting. I mean, Luccini do grab the Venomancer because it's a Venomancer, but we haven't really seen these SA teams highly prioritize either of these two heroes. Like, they'll pick them up, but usually it's going to be in the second phase. These aren't really going to be your incredibly offensive, incredibly aggressive heroes. But then this is also leaving, of course, this pick still in the pool. Probably one of the most noteworthy heroes to be still left in that Necrophos. So it's an interesting concession there from the SG Esports side. Now, the Rubik and Nyx Assassin are both pretty darn good up against Veno Necrophos. As far as heroes that can be good against them, like, those are probably some of the best you're actually going to find. Again, this null field of the Rubik is going to be very powerful, though difficult to tell. And you're looking at stealing some insane spells. Everything from the Venomancer is great. Everything from the Necrophos, I guess maybe Ghost Shout isn't that great, but yeah, if you can get a Scythe, or if you could even just steal Death Pulse, you're going to be doing some pretty decent work. And if you are going to be playing a Rubik, ideally you want to have some sort of chain stun with your allies. Levitate or Telekinesis into a Nyx Assassin stun, pretty much exactly what you want. And of course, Nyx Assassin up against Necrophos is a very powerful hero. Mana Burn is going to destroy the Necrophos' health pool and mana pool, I guess. But still, it's signaling that SG Esports perhaps want to take this game a little bit slower, a little bit more patiently. Ancient Apparition still in the pool. If it is going to be a core Nyx, which is for sure possible to support Nyx, definitely possible as well. Ancient Apparition, along with the Rubik, put Nyx Assassin in the off lane for SGE. That'll give them a nice anti-healing answer to this Necrophos of the Luccini Gaming side. Also will combo with the Rubik incredibly well. And also, it's pretty much what teams are looking to do, very much so nowadays. We see Nature's Prophet and Invoker banned out, 2 heroes with that global impact. Gotta try to, at least as much as any team can, abuse the fact that, hey, Nyx Assassin has a very long duration stun. If you find anyone, if you're able to set up with a Sunstrike, or an Ice Blast, or a Wrath of Nature, or even a Zeus, it's maybe not the best here to pick up a Zeus. We'll have to gauge the field a little bit more, but you know, those type of heroes, very highly prioritized alongside the Nyx Assassin. Lifestealer as well is an incredible hero to have along with that Nyx, and is still in the pool and is great up against Necrophos and Venomancer both. So that's what I'm looking for from the SGE side. On the Luccini end of things, they're going to take out the, or rather have banned out from them, Shaker and the Bloodseeker. I would like to see them, Luccini, at least as much as they can, try to get a little bit of extra push power on the board. They could go for a very heavy pick-off style as well. Something they could do that would probably fill both roles is go ahead and go for that Legion Commander. Of course, they'll wait a little bit more, and it'll be a Pugna for SG. Okay, we got ourselves an interesting draft now. Legion definitely got a little bit worse here, but Pugna is definitely a double-edged sword. I mean, of course, you're going to be looking to push down structures, at least some structures for SG. And it's possible that we see something like a Jakiro come out of their second support pick and, again, shove that Nyx Assassin over towards the offlane. But up against Necrophos and Venomancer, the Nether Ward is going to be an all-star that will do a lot of damage. Unfortunately, your Decrepify is not going to be all that useful. Defensively, it may work if Luccini do end up getting someone like Legion Commander. Luccini can also pick up a Jakiro just as easily. Missing their supports right now, AA is still a possibility for Luccini Gaming side. Necrophos AA is a very common pickup in the 1-2 phase. Not as common in the 2 and 3 phase, because that's not really a phase. But if they get that, and if they get like an Earth Spirit or something like that, then they could definitely keep pace in this game and just call all the shots. Is it really going to be an AA Earth Spirit? That would be pretty sick. That'll be a great call to start the day, if you know what I mean. But AA is great up against that Pugna. Is really, really good when you're packing all this magic damage. And for SG, again, the null field is going to be better and better moving forward. But they definitely need heroes that have some way of resisting magic damage. Still kind of looking at that Lifestealer. Juggernaut is not too bad either. I think pretty much as long as your carry is going to be happy to buy a BKB, you should be considering it as the SG Sports side. Juggernaut perhaps a little bit better. I mean, Lifestealer with the Nyx Assassin is still very powerful. Get a Desolator, you can take down some towers with the Pugna. But the team fight is definitely in control of Luccini. The only downside is that Luccini don't really have any way of starting those fights. If they're in a fight, they'll be really powerful, but getting the jump on someone like a Rubik or a Pugna, so valuable, yet so impossible to do right now. They will need Atos on a Necrophos or something along those lines, or just a hero to start those fights. And again, looking at Earth Spirit probably for the smaller scale, Puck is actually still in the pool. I'm not sure if there's any room for a Puck for either of these two teams. You could throw Puck in the off lane, I suppose, for Luccini. It's not going to be incredibly easy going up against a Rubik, a potential Nyx Assassin, and now an Anti-Mage. Would be really tough. And I can't believe I said heroes that are resistant to magic, and then I didn't say Anti-Mage. I mean, it's literally his name. That is literally his title. That is literally his job. So much so that he named himself that. And I just didn't say it. I just didn't say it, guys. Will be a really powerful hero up against Luccini simply because they're, again, all in the magic department. And Scythe usually is like, oh, you're at half HP? Just throw that out. Not going to work all the time against Anti-Mage with that additional magic resistance. Luccini will get a little bit of a building hitter now in the Terrorblade. Looks like going to have a either a Necrophos offlane, which we've seen a couple of teams do, or a Venomancer offlane, which is viable as well. Terrorblade most likely along with that Ancient Apparition, just looking for that secondary support. And the great thing with Terrorblade is that your range, you already have a lot of damage. Getting Chilling Touch is fantastic. The downside is that Reflection is not really the spell you want to combo with an Ancient Apparition in order to slow the enemies down in order to get those right clicks off. So they would really need an additional hero, and still looking at Earth Spirit to be pretty premium here for Luccini's last pick since now the Tusk is banned out. SGE, what do they want to do with this Nyx Assassin? Rubik and Nyx Assassin is really powerful. But Luccini, ooh, that's smart. Assuming the Nyx Assassin is going to be support, take out the Darkseer. And Darkseer is pretty good up against Terrorblade, but the Darkseer is the most valuable in the sense that he is a hero that will go to the offlane and probably get a lot of gold. And that gold is usually going to translate into aura survivability items, Pipe, Guardian Greaves, Mechanism, obviously. Any of those items will be great up against Luccini, so making sure that that pick is out. There aren't really that many offlane heroes that go there with the express intention of going for AoE survivability items. In fact, none actually come to mind. Like, Tidehunter will sometimes be picked up as far as that's concerned. Like, get a Mechanism and get Guardian Greaves, but usually you want to get a Blink Dagger or a Force Staff at some point. Darkseer will want to do that as well, but much later in the game. But no other offlane heroes really scream, hey, I'm going to be a really defensive support for the team. I guess, like, an Abaddon for SGE, like, could serve that role. Or even an Omni Knight. The issue with those is that, you know, they usually want to play a little more aggressively. Mix in the Radiance in their build. It looks like Luccini is just going to go ahead and grab that Kunkka. That's the catch that they want up against the Anti-Mage. Really, really powerful team fight coming out from the Luccini side.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, just X marks and AA's Suite of Spells. incredibly potent. SG are going to go ahead and grab that puck in the end and give it to ADR. So we're going to see, a little bit of tricky lanes here, but we'll see as they might swap. Don't want to call anything too early just yet. Still, the big glaring weakness for Luccini is the fact that they are going to struggle to start these fights. Kunkka getting someone caught with a X marks is very nice, but there are going to be certain problems that arise with that. The fact that it's very easy to combo break that if you're on the SGE side, Puck especially. That is almost completely his job. Start the fights in favor of SGE and make sure Kunkka doesn't use that X Torrent to kill off your Nyx Assassin, let's say, because that would be really bad. So if Luccini can somehow stumble into these fights and avoid the puck initiation, then they will be sitting pretty. But with SG now, with that puck and the Nyx Assassin, their mobility, their vision should just, in general, be topping Luccini's as far as starting those engagements. Yeah, and we'll see what happens once we're going to actually load in. I expect some of these to be a little bit swapped up. But still, it is really tough to say that I like the team that's up against a Necrophos, AA, and a Venomancer. Like, these are some really premium heroes in this current patch, in this current SA qualifier meta. But I do like how SG have pretty much like all the initiation they need unlocked. Really hard to out-initiate SGE, and as powerful as those heroes are, if they're the ones to get jumped on, you can very easily bring them down, especially when you're talking about an anti-mage. We'll see how much space he's actually going to get from his allies, but here we go. Still gonna wait till the very bitter end, though this looks like a little bit more normal stuff from the SG side as far as who they're giving what. Got ADR playing the Pugna, fucking A, on the Anti-Mage. Posta is on the puck, Theo's Nyx Assassin is on the field, and got Bardino on the Rubik, and I don't expect those to be swapped up that much. Jamari is on the Necrophos, got Madara 666. Is there anyone who could even touch him? I don't know. Senor Vac, and that should be Zinder on the Kunkka. Jan's Venomancer's here, and Jericho Morty. Oh, jeez, Jericho. Oh, jeez. I'm not going to do that. I'm sorry, guys. I apologize. That was uncalled for, and I apologize. That also just wasn't my best Morty voice. I can do better, but I'm not going to, because that's a bad idea. But you guys have to take it from me that I can do better. My Morty voice is incredible. My Rick voice, I don't know. I have to drink something carbonated first so I can get the burps in. And I'm not going to do that yet. Maybe for the next set, maybe for game 2. Everyone's going to teleport out, and, well, they might run into each other. Boots first on Nyx Assassin, as well as the Kunkka. We'll see what Theo's actually going to be able to do here. Again, this Telekinesis into Spike combo, or Impale combo from the Nyx Assassin is very potent. But Anti-Mage, as far as actually jamming that kill home, not really going to be incredibly useful, unless the hero is just grossly out of position, which is possible. It is about equally possible that we see him grab Mana Burn and just spam it on whoever's going to be in that mid lane, and they could probably assume that it's going to be Necrophos in this game. So a couple of Mana Burns here and there, just driving him back, giving the mid lane a little bit of an advantage, could be incredibly valuable for the SG Esports as well. Kunkka, on the other hand, he'll just be obviously getting Torrent level 1, because X marks with no Torrent is pretty bad. And we'll see if they can actually get anything done on this puck. It is going to be fairly difficult, though. The Ancient Apparition doesn't really have that much game as far as killing off puck is concerned. Cold Feet with Torrent is nice for killing off most heroes, but isn't going to be super useful in killing off a hero like Puck. They really just have to hope that Torrent and Puck's mispositioning, or if Puck's like really far in, like over here or something, then an orb out won't really get him to safety. That's the best bet they have killing off the Posa. The same cannot really be said about this Venomancer on this top lane. Yeah, he is fairly bulky, 5 armor. Does have probably enough regen to sustain himself, but is going up against a roaming Assassin. Perfect stun setup with the Rubik. Once Anti-Mage gets level 2, level 3, then they're definitely going to look to make those kills happen. Up till then, though, Anti-Mage, you know, with only Blink and or Mana Void, it's not really powerful. And Jen might actually look to just abandon ship here. He's going to stack up a couple of these wards. Theo's going to see everything. He doesn't have any damage block. He'll just start right-clicking Jen and his wards. He's taking a lot of damage here. He just wants to clean this out, though, and make sure Jen's life is difficult. And rest assured, life is hard now for the Venomancer. I don't know if you guys ever tried jungling a Venomancer. It's actually kind of legit. If you just get Plague Wards and Plague and Sting, just ignore your Gale completely. These things end up doing a lot of damage versus the creeps. Especially if you put them on the high ground, like over here or like over here. The creeps will like always wander back and forth and awkwardly just get hit by their Plague Wards every time. It's really cool. But of course it only works if you could actually cast the spell and have it stick. So Jan he knows that this lane is gonna be full of stuns and unhappiness. They're gonna concede this lane and give it freely to fucking A. Luposa does have that orb. Level 2 is when the real safety comes in from the puck, so he does still have to be somewhat concerned here. You can see Jericho just using that chilling touch just for damage value. Luposa's not really gonna be willing to orb out unless he gets in a situation like this where he's looking to be surrounded. So just a couple free right clicks here and there. Long cooldown for sure. This spell is really expensive to use as far as your time is concerned. But it's not like you do much better here as the Ancient Apparition. He's doing his best. And Theo looking for Jamari here. Impale is going to be wide off the mark. That wasn't really close. If they land the Impale there, that actually would have been pretty close to a kill. Easy sidestep there from the Necrophos, and Theo has got to take another run at it. But he does have boots. He does have another clarity, so he can definitely make that play happen again. Ooh, Jen is going to do this. This is actually pretty cool. Especially if you, in my experimentation, if you get rid of these trees right here, you can just set up like a nest of Plague Wards and they'll shoot down and down. And then, yeah, you pretty much have the situation where your neutrals that you're killing are just running back and forth and just dying. Like, usually they just turn around before they start to hit the Plague Wards, because they're aggroed on you. They don't naturally aggro to the Plague Wards. If they have a choice between hitting the Plague Wards and hitting the Venomancer, they'll choose the Venomancer, so they'll chase you. You can see, Jan is actually just shredding this camp. This is not something that SG can really counter at all. I mean, they're going to be happy with the fact that the Anti-Mage is getting an absolute free time up towards top lane, should be getting every single CS. But at the same time, Terrorblade is getting pretty much exactly the same. Luposa is probably going to end up getting slightly less as far as the gold is concerned in his own lane. Another off stun from Theo. That time didn't really matter, since if you miss it, not a big deal. You're not going to get the kill anyway. But a pure jungling Venomancer as he abandons that top lane. Definitely not ideal, but man, it is something that is refreshing to see. I feel like too many times in too many games, Venomancers that get off to a slow start just constantly go back up to that top lane and then just never get anything done. I mean, they eventually get something done when they're like level 5, level 6, level 7. But that takes a while. So, Jamari, though. Impale. This time's going to land. Mana Burn is not enough mana, but they do have the Blast with the Decrepify. Not enough. And another Growth Shroud means that Necrophos just won't die here. ADR gets pulled right back into a Torrent and will go down. Did I say Torrent? It's definitely not a Torrent. It's a Torrent. And that was super close. That's not even Necrophos with stick charges. That's just the fact that Nyx Assassin only came in with one spell.
Go for me.
And obviously, if you have the choice, you're going to be casting Impale. But that level 3 blast, I think it was level 3 at the time, just short of killing off this Necrophos. I mean, he's gone for a very stat-heavy opening here. He used all his regeneration. He's probably getting even more regeneration ferried out to him. He is. But man, 3 circlets, a null talisman completion, and a branch. Like, he is fat as hell. Theo in danger of the X marks. They don't see him. It's nighttime. And it looks like the bug is still going to get torrented, but that's about it. They're going to X marks. Think about it. He canceled. And Theo should be fine. First blood being drawn on the Radiant side. Who actually got that last hit? It was like it was the AA. Quite nice for a support to get that, that first blood. We could see observers, sentries, boots coming out. As far as supports that you really want to get the last hit on, AA is not really on the top of the chart since he doesn't really have any item timing he's looking for. But still, he's going to be perfectly happy with that. They're going to be perfectly happy that they killed off the enemy Pugna.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Pugna still not to be deterred. 2 nulls, I would assume bottle soon, and he's just going to keep spamming out this wave. In fact, last drain. Ghost Shroud does very little here. Is he just dead? Oh my god, that was so close to just a straight kill. I did not expect that to do that much damage. But Necrophos, keep in mind, has gone for this tanky build, but he does not purchase the boots yet. So, once you're decrepified, I don't know how fast he's moving, but it's definitely not fast enough. If he had boots instead of either one of these items, like boots instead of Null Talisman, Easy walk out of there. But again, this is going to be a little bit of a tough matchup for right now. It does get better with the Necrophos moving forward. Being able to scythe down a Pugna with the Ice Blast to assist, that's incredibly potent stuff. We're not there just yet. The Pugna just needs a little bit more damage on this tower, and even though Jericho is here, I'm not really sure if he can do much. He'll throw out another Cold Feet. ADR, though, unlike Necrophos, is like one of the fastest heroes in the game, and now he's going to start draining the Ancient Apparition, who is also pretty darn slow. Got him! Ice Frog's Blessing on this hero. Pugna's Life Drain is just such a jank skill, but it does so much damage, especially when nowadays the Decrepify build is the norm. This is why you don't do a support Pugna, guys, because you want to get this spell up as fast as humanly possible. Madara is going to be rotated on, but is there anyone who could even touch Madara? I don't think so. And Jericho's here, Cold Touch, and he may not have the Metamorphosis, but he doesn't really need it. He's not in any threat with these heroes here. They seriously do need a Pugna type hero to be moving in toward that bottom lane if they're going to kill off the Terror Blade. They're still messing with quite a bit, and actually Jamari is getting absolutely dumpstered by ADR. I did not expect this much advantage. He's going to get pulled back into a Torrent. Scythe not available just yet. Now ADR actually is going to cancel that life drain a little bit early and just try to book it. There is no more Shrine there. There's 6 stick charges, but there's no cooldowns, and looks like Hunka will lose like 20 mana from that mana burn. They can't get the Pugna just yet. This tower is still in deny range. Not cracking in. I did not expect this type of slanted advantage for Jamari. Oh, now Decrepify Drain. Where's your gank now? Suddenly Pugna's at full HP. Doesn't have a ton of mana. He's just going to go ahead and throw that blast in, grab the tower, and be on his way. Jeez, 49-21 versus 23-3. I mean, yeah, life is not super easy for a Necrophos going towards that mid lane. Gotta dodge Nyx Assassins, and you gotta dodge blasts, but I mean, you usually should smooth that over pretty easily, seeing as though you will have this additional sustain provided to you by that Death Pulse. And it's really hard to fall behind this far as a Necrophos. He also doesn't have a stick yet, which is very odd. I mean, Ghost Shroud, it does make you ethereal, so you do take more damage from spells. And the Decrepify from Pugna does the same thing, but it doesn't increase your healing, so it is a little bit awkward there. But still, Ghost Shroud up against Pugna is pretty bad, honestly. The only way to make it good is by getting that stick. Otherwise, Ghost Shroud and Death Pulses is fine, but it's not going to be winning you any games with any sort of broken shenanigans. Jian's going to rotate in. You can see, disappear into the jungle, is going to pop right back out. Suddenly level 7 Venomancer. That is the speed that a Venomancer can farm in the jungle, guys. It's actually insane. Now, I haven't tested it a lot. I did like one game because my allies were being asses. But my god, it was effective. And now he can just play normally. Now he's just a Venomancer who's level 7. 9 minutes into the game, which is a pretty darn good level to be. You can see the Puck, the mirrored hero, is only level 6. Rotate the Veno in to defend that top lane as they move Madara up towards top lane. Try to get that Metamorphosis some value. Unfortunately, ADR is here. X-Torrent with the right clicks coming in. The Decrepify will block any right clicks from the Terror Blade. Now he's just going to try to drain him out, but the Scythe will stun him. Letting them right click down the Pugna. He's the only one who actually came up here. You can see Luccini on the other hand coming in force. Everyone and their mom joining in this fight. And Bardinho's getting some valuable experience in the meantime, and they actually found the Ancient Apparition with the Anti-Mage. But Anti-Mage does not want to touch this lane. He's not nearly as powerful as a Terror Blade at this stage. So level 6 on Pugna. A slow, maybe passive, kind of time-wasting defense on this top lane might just be all they want. Dire Scan, and well, they do say Jamari. No mana, so you would kind of want to try to go for it, but there's no heroes that are relevant. Theo's just going to jack the Bounty Rune and run away. Solid plays. So Venomancer is almost assuredly going to give Bardinho these Plague Wards. And he's actually going to get a lift up. That'll show him. Got him. Plague Wards are actually really nice on the Rubik. It's hard to play around Plague Wards when they're only up sometimes. Like, they're going to be giving him vision, they're going to be giving him push power. Perhaps most importantly, they're going to be defending against the Plague Wards on the other end. Blast! Ooh! Almost going to connect onto the Terror Blade. He's going to teleport out of that top lane just in time. ADR that still is pretty comfortable in this top lane now that Terror Blade is gone. Now that the Scythe is off the board. Gonna keep blasting this tower. Man, another blast just really does it all. It's above average as a nuke as far as damage is concerned. I guess low cast range is the only bad thing, and now, well, Zinder's gonna charge in. There's the combo, though, onto the Kunkka. Ice Blast is coming in with the Torrent and the Gale. ADR should just die to these dots. He'll throw out one more blast. He'll do a little bit of damage, but that is a pretty quick level 6 on the Ancient Apparition as well. And that is going to be another huge kill. And this Pugna getting a lot of inflated net worth because of, I mean, first of all, he's getting kills, but also he's taking down towers. So he is worth a lot to bring down. The Anti-Mage, though, is still getting free farm, and that is somewhat of a concern here for Luccini. Anti-Mage, I don't know if Anti-Mage and Terrorblade are actually still brothers, but he's actually in a little bit of trouble here. X-Marks, actually, never mind, is going to go towards Bardinho. With the Ice Blast coming in, the combo once again is going to land. And that will eventually stop being as effective as it is right now. He's going to try to wall himself in with Plague Wards. Good try. But for right now, that combo is like almost an insta-kill on pretty much whoever you landed on, especially if you're able to get right clicks afterwards. Really tough to defend against that. And Theo's going to jack another Bounty Rune. There's a Scythe here. There is a Venomancer. He's going to go Invis. And it looks like there is detection on the Necrophos, but I think if they Sentry there, they just straight kill him. They have a Scythe. Gonna let him go, though. I mean, they forced out the Vendetta in a super defensive fashion. And for right now, that is like the last thing that SG want to do. So Luccini still should be pretty okay with that. Especially if they're able to get this wraparound here on Leposa and Bardinho. Terrorblade has already used his Metamorphosis. And that was quite a while ago, actually. So it's going to be really tough to get these kills. Senor Vac does have a boat, and there is another Ice Blast. Again, that combo is damn near insta-kill. Unless Puck is able to get that phase shift dodge. Puck, regular boots, Soul Ring, Blink Dagger. Super budget build here for the Puck. Oh, but he throws out the orb. That is not good because, actually, X-Marks canceled by the silence, and now it will be cast. He has no way to get out of here, but it's going to be missed. He completely botches the combo. Now the coil turnaround as ADR is going to arrive with the life drain. He will be frozen in place soon. Puck's going to jump forward, though. Has another Waning Rift. Should be enough to take out the Kunkka. Not just yet. Now will. As Bardinho also going to make his arrival. Leposa has to retreat. Is going to phase shift and will be just fine as the Mana Burn from the Nyx Assassin actually going to take Scytheman out from the Necrophos. He still will get it out in the end onto the Pugna. But a return Scythe from Bardinho going to give him a taste of his own medicine in a 2-for-1 exchange. That is still not that bad for Luccini Gaming, honestly. I think net worth, yeah, it's not really a huge swing either way. Man, that was so close to being a perfectly clutch play from Theo with that Mana Burn. Unfortunately, you're going up against Necrophos, and though it was delayed, Magic Wand still gives you mana, even though with Necrophos, it's mostly used to give him health.
'Tis mine.
That should have been just an easy kill on the Puck. Really too bad the Kunkka botched that one. But, you know what? Still, they end up taking down the Pugna again. This hero is, again, worth a hell of a lot. Level 11. This is all space creation for SG. The Terrorblade was involved in that fight, but because he was melee, wasn't able to really do as much as he would like. And I think any gold that he got from that fight was certainly not worth his time compared to what he could have been doing. I mean, in the meantime, Anti-Mage is just having a field day in his own jungle. 14 minutes, and he's got, yeah, pretty much exactly what you want at this stage in the game. Phase Battle Fury with an additional item kind of in the pipeline. This is a concern for Luccini. They're making all the right moves as far as trying to pressure, trying to get kills, trying to take down these towers, but unfortunately it does seem like they're not quite in a position just yet where they can actually make it happen. Leposa is going to get pulled right back in. No, he actually dodges the X. And that means that he still is going to die because this Terrorblade does a lot of damage. Nice try, Puck. He does have a Blink Dagger, though. So it doesn't seem like that kill really mattered as far as delaying timings are concerned. Jamari, if this Impale lands, he's dead. And it will, in fact, land. Here comes the Mana Void. Easy kill, 1-for-1. Now, with this Terrorblade and his Metamorphosis, they're still going to look to push this as much as possible. And actually catch Bardinho as well. Stun's going to hit onto the Ancient Apparition, but with Kunkka throwing in the water, they'll just right-click down the Rubik. We've seen this game so many times in the past with these two heroes, Terrorblade and Anti-Mage. The way that they function is that Terrorblade hits his power peak much earlier than that of the anti-mage. Bosa does phase dodge the ice coming in, but his blink dagger's being canceled. Orb out is going to get him some nice distance. Theo's going to arrive, but at no HP. They're going to pull him back into nothing. Here comes the boat, and they do actually have true sight of him now. Going to try to hide in the trees. Will eventually be ticked out by poison. Sentry ward coverage just good enough, as SG just try to waste some time up on this top lane. Now ideally the play would be to just right click, mana burn, try to orb through to thin the creep wave, and just give this anti-mage more time. But feeding over those additional kills, not entirely sure if that's worth it in the end. Actually, well, ADR did some serious damage on the bottom lane tower, so maybe it is going to be worth it for SG. But again, these type of games, it always comes down to how much space can SG buy for this anti-mage. Because Luccini don't need to buy space for the Terrorblade. He is the one who knocks. He is the one who's going to be providing space for, in theory, some other guy. And their pace of game is pretty quick. But still, we can see it's not really yielding as much as they would want. Mid lane tier 1, still alive and very healthy. Same thing for bottom lane tier 1. And they get a handful of kills, and that is all well and good, but you really need to start looking for those pickoffs. If you're forced into a late game state, they can handle it. But it will be, you know, something that SG will be much more comfortable taking. Theo is going to Vendetta, check if those are real, and they won't be. He's going to push forward and end up seeing the Terrorblade. Sentry coverage is non-existent here. There's one here on Jericho, and he'll drop it. With another Metamorphosis, looks like they'll look to remedy that situation. What does the Rubik have? He doesn't really want Metamorphosis. He really wants Plague Wards here. Not like he has a lot of time to find the steal, though. Bottom lane in the meantime, ADR Jamari playing some games. The Radiant Courier gonna get picked off by Theo. The X is gonna be canceled? No, not quite, but the Torrent won't land anyway. Frost Effect on the Nyx Assassin, just trying to buy some space. Boat is with the X marked, gonna land perfectly. For the Courier, I'm pretty sure that's worth it. They still lose the tower, however.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
I mean, you can see SG's their net worth lead. Now even in the towers is being kept steady. And for Luccini, that is all they can ask for right now. They still are more powerful, given even state. The concern is when SG start to actually team fight and actually start to, you know, buy some serious time for the anti-mage. Then if that is ever going to happen, then the anti-mage is going to get a lot more farm than anyone on Luccini can really hope to match. The Venomancer is an okay farmer. Necrophos can farm pretty quickly as well, but usually does have to either get a lot of kills to accelerate himself or go for that Radiance build, and it doesn't seem like he's interested in going for Radiance. So SG are still sitting pretty despite dropping some perhaps questionable looking deaths. Set up on this bottom lane. X marks. No vision. The Ice Blast is on the mark still, and they do Torrent and boat him. Yeah, they do boat him, but the Scythe is being delayed because Theo is going to stall him up with the Impale. That means ADR, well, is going to take another X. Torrent is not cast just yet. Now will be off the mark, though. ADR is really fast, but still not fast enough to escape the cold feet. With just a right click, they'll take him down. And looking for more, this X marks is getting some serious overvalue. Theo is going to get X back to nothing. Doesn't have Vendetta for another 6 seconds here. Torrent in and will miss. But a Scythe, that will not do much damage because of the Spike Carapace. Theo's still alive, is invisible, but they'll drop a sentry, they'll take him down. You can see, it's all in the effort of space creation. Fucking A, push down the mid lane tier 2. Now, bottom lane is going to be pushed as well, but man, this anti-mage with the Man-style Battle Fury is no slouch in the pushing department either. Bardinho still has these Plague Wards, which admittedly aren't going to be super impressive since he isn't set up right now. But if he's going to start putting him near the tier 2, then he could actually make a defense here just by himself. Ultimately, it will be a tower advantage for SG, and though they did lose heroes, they're still increasing their advantage. It's all about minimizing losses while maximizing time. It's a delicate dance to be sure, but I mean, that's the dance you have to play when you're going for anti-mage. Oh, what is going on here? They do catch the Venomancer, destroy all the trees. Venomancer's gonna die before casting anything. And Leposa, he's going to dodge the boat, sees the Kunkka teleporting out. Akoya will put a quick end to that. Now here comes the boat. Up for Bardinho, there are boats everywhere. I'm not actually sure. I guess that was Rubik's, because the Kunkka has the shark. Right? Anyway, he's dead. And it looks like that'll be Luccini going a little bit too deep. That was actually the Kunkka's. I guess I'm just imagining the shark. No, what? They both use... I don't know whose boat that was. I don't know if there's a way to tell, guys. My apologies. Did he have a shark? I don't actually know if Kunkka has a shark. Who cares, right? It'll be nice if it was green. Valve, please. Make Pugna's stolen spells green. That will be incredible. Oh no, Jamari's walking down the low ground. He's going to get back up to the high ground. Impale will land. There isn't really a heavy hitter here. Ice Blast is coming in. Necrophos still alive. Right clicks, right clicks. He's going to go into the Ghost Shroud and now turn around. With the help of Jericho, get the kill onto Theo. But here comes ADR. Jamari is on the low ground. Oh, gets popped by FNA. Showing up for the first time this game. It's Anti-Mage. Instantly hit with a torrent though and has to blink out first thing. He's hit with a lot of poison and as much magic immunity as he has. Not quite enough to fight comfortably. Will also cost them the puck and the Rubik dying to the dots. Looks like Pugna will survive. Anti-Mage as well will be fine. Did ADR get... Oh, he thought that he was torrented. And he was, but he was mind-gamed. I don't think anyone's going to teleport into this shrine. Looks like ADR should still live. I mean, try to gank a Pugna. It seems like a great idea until he decrepifies you and starts draining, right? Then things get really awkward. We can see, though, this game, even though Luccini are still making most of the right moves, finding the right picks, it is not working out for them numerically. ADR even dodges the Ice Blast. The 3k lead is now, oh my god, 7k. What the hell happened? Is this really worth that much? They took out a handful of tier 2 towers, which is really nice. Anti-Mage shows up to play. Does get a kill on the Necrophos, which is worth quite a bit. Did not expect to skyrocket that much in net worth difference, though. That's pretty disgusting. You guys know that comic where the Anti-Mage is, like, farming, and then he, like, pops out of the jungle, and he's, like, super muscular, and he's like, I'm done farming. And he, like, Manta styles, and then the Shadow Shaman just, like, hexes him, and then the chicken is gonna lick blood off his face. It's pretty much exactly that. I'm sure there's one guy who knows exactly what I'm talking about, and everyone else is like, what, Mike, what the hell are you on about? If you guys haven't seen that comic, look it up. I don't know how you would search for it. Good luck finding it, but if you do, it's exactly this game. Anti-Mage is done farming. We'll see what he can do next time. Hopefully, for next time, he won't immediately get tagged with a torrent. And it looks like, despite his spell shield, we'll still go for magic immunity. Definitely the right call in this game. Since as farmed as Madara is, Luccini's side are still like 90% reliant on magic damage. Impale will be dodged by a BKB usage. Theo doesn't have any answer to that and will go down. Jericho will also take down Bardino on the mid lane, actually, with just the help of that Kunkka in the boat. Anti-Mage is pushing in top lane, though. Leposa still in the area with the buyback on the next assassin. We'll just try to scare Madara off of this Roche. He is going to actually find himself a regen rune, which is incredible. Exactly what the doctor ordered. But this is exactly what they have to concern themselves with. They cannot stay here forever. They're going to lose an Ancient Apparition on the retreat. Looks like everyone else should be okay. But Anti-Mage forcing at least Jen to be back here. And are they really going to jack the Roche now? This is going to cost Theo a buyback, and that is quite expensive for an Nyx Assassin, who usually doesn't get that much cash. We can see, in fact, he's on the bottom of the net worth chart. But SG just styled on Luccini. Movement style. That's like the slickest movement play you can make. And then he jumps right in. Is going to completely drain Madara, who does not have the level 3 Sunder, so it still costs mana. Both's going to come in, do quite a bit of damage to fucking A, but still not kill him just yet. Slides down to the low ground. He doesn't have any way of getting additional intelligence or mana, so he's just going to go down. And now ADR is going to join the fight as well. They find the Venomancer in the wrong neighborhood, and they're going to drain him out slowly but surely. Barrier only holds for so long. Dots on the Anti-Mage may take down the Aegis. Ice Blast is coming in. Theo will dodge it. Leposa is not taking any poison damage himself, and fucking A will lose his life. But taking Roche gold, taking 3 heroes down, that's a pretty good way to use the Aegis. I would not be too upset about that, especially now that he has a BKB coming in. No, it's not a BKB. That is not a BKB. That's a Skull Basher. I mean, I'm all for Basher on the Anti-Mage. I do feel like BKB this game is definitely worth the purchase. But hey, sometimes you just gotta kill someone. And Skull Basher certainly helps you kill people a lot easier than a BKB. Especially like one random hero out in the middle of nowhere, like these two guys. If Anti-Mage jumps in, he could actually like kill whoever he wants.
Radiant's top shrine.
I mean, he's not going to do that because he doesn't have any vision. You don't blink up the high ground like that unless you want to throw the game. But Anti-Mage is super stacked right now.
Radiant's top shrine has fallen.
Basher into BKB, I like that. I mean, I'm pretty sure it would be better to have Basher with the Aegis. And if he kept the Aegis, then he would be really happy. But, you know, I'm not really sure when this item purchase happened. If it was before or after Roche, or if it was before or after the Aegis being claimed. It doesn't really matter, right? I mean, he's getting infinite amounts of money. So when you have infinite gold, you don't really have to be super careful about your item sequencing. Since, like, yeah, he almost has it. It doesn't really matter. He's also almost level 25. He's also going to clean out the shrines since he took out the tier 3 top lane. We do have Theo on the hunt. How the hell did he end up with... What? I mean, he was just at like 700 gold, right? And then they kill a couple heroes. I guess Roche and 3 kills is going to get him the Blink Dagger. Man, I literally just said that Nyx Assassins don't get a lot of gold, and then suddenly he has 2,000 out of freaking nowhere. Blink Dagger, man. Blink Dagger up against Necrophos. Being able to keep yourself on the outskirts of the fight, keeping yourself safe for the Terrorblade. Super premium item for the Nyx Assassin here. Again, he doesn't get a lot of gold, so I'm not expecting that much else in the way of items anytime soon. But for sure, he's going to be happy with what he has. Let's see what SG also have. We have a Glimmer Cape on the Rubik, a huge pickup. Only level 2 in the null field. Rest assured, that skill will get value, assuming the Rubik doesn't get popped instantly. And the Puck's going to go for a Yule Scepter into what I imagine is a Lincoln Sphere with that Ultimate Orb. No, that's okay. Most of the Lincoln Sphere already done. On the other end, Rod of Atos BKB being built up on the Necrophos, but this game state does not really favor Luccini farm-wise. They're going to struggle to get creep kills. Pipe Veil, Force on the Venomancer, he's very farmed. But again, he's going into an Anti-Mage, so that farm may not matter as much as he would really like. Lakosa is going to Phase Shift, has a Yule Scepter and a Blink Out. Or a Blink Out. The Illusion's going to follow him, not do anything. Terrorblade, he's the most farmed hero on Luccini. Still, it doesn't seem like he has enough to challenge this Anti-Mage comfortably. Theo is going to wander right in to an Ice Blast. Sentry Ward is going to set up for an X, short X. Still get the kill. Over in the bottom lane, though, ADR causing some trouble. Going to start draining out the Venomancer. Barrier goes up, and Nova does hit onto fucking A, but he gets a first hit. Bash! Feels balanced, man. And that poison is going to do very little. The Pugna was healing himself with the life drain throughout most of that. Well, it's actually going to do quite a bit, but I mean, it's going to do very little after he's done healing himself. Kobold's out of ADR's way. He wants something fat. He wants this. Num 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 num. Full health. Doesn't even have an Ags yet. Doesn't even have an Ags yet. Luccini needs some way of busting out of this, and that way, whenever you have a Necrophos, is going to be the Necrophos. Unless Necrophos just gets killed off here, he is going to Ghost Shroud. Mana Void does quite a bit extra, but Necrophos' mana pool is really, really high, so Anti-Mage, the fact that he had the Manta Style used late, and he only got that first bash, he has no Abyssal, yeah, he's going to let it go, but it's not really the highest cooldown in the world. They need to Scythe someone. At this point, like, you would love to Scythe the Anti-Mage and get a kill. You would love to Scythe kill a Pugna. But also, beggars can't be choosers. They'll Scythe kill whoever they can get. It doesn't really seem like it's really easy to get these kills, however. Again, this is one of the big problems I was talking about in the draft. Luccini don't really have a method of initiating outside of this Kunkka. And to Kunkka's credit, he has been initiating really, really well with that X marks. He's been doing an incredible job. But in a state like this, an X marks is sometimes going to work if the enemies play really carelessly, and SG just aren't. This is how I predict the next couple minutes are going to go. It's going to be exactly this, with SG getting further and further ahead. And then at a certain point, and that point is going to be Abyssal Blade on Anti-Mage, he's going to jump in and find some poor schmuck and kill him off. And then SG are going to start seriously hitting at the high ground. It doesn't seem like Luccini with this playstyle are really going to get into a point where they're actually able to move outside of their base, so Though I'd love to see Luccini push out and try to get something done. Like, they're scared. They're not smoking. They're not looking for these picks. They're just chilling in their base, and not in a good way. This is how much farm space they have. The entirety of the map is being controlled by SG. Rubik even stolen the Plague Wards. Will steal it again, refresh that. It's not exactly a Ravage. It's not exactly a black hole, but man, is it so useful in this type of game state. When you're just interested in just constantly applying pressure, having these additional wards just as vision wards is really, really nice. And look at this, like Rubik by himself is keeping this mid lane pushed in. And Jan is going to try to push it out, but it's going to be like an even match in the push department, so can't really afford that. And the longer they see Jan try to kill off those Plague Wards, well, the more time Anti-Mage has to consider who he's going to jump with that future Abyssal Blade. They will find the Pugna though, finally. He does have the Yule Scepter, but oh, can't cast it when you're sights. Big kill there for Luccini. That's a long time with Pugna dead. And now they're going to look to muscle themselves a little bit of map control. They do have to be careful about this though, because even though they don't have the Pugna, they still have an incredibly stacked Anti-Mage with a fresh BKB. Jian is gonna get tagged and initiated upon. He has a pipe. We can see how much that actually mattered. It didn't do jack, man. Well, the opening that Luccini had from that Pugna kill is pretty much gone now, since they just lost their Venomancer. Jeez, AA actually has Rod of Atos. He doesn't have much in the net worth department, so that's really all he has. But Rod of Atos up against Anti-Mage is really good if Anti-Mage didn't have Man Style and BKB. Like, it would be a solid item. He has the Abyssal Blade as well. And look at this. Like, how are you supposed to leave your base? There's a wall outside your base. Build a wall and make the Radiant pay for it. And they actually are paying for it. And this is also getting Rubik cash, mind you. Like, this is mostly valuable because of the map control. But Rubik, who doesn't really farm that fast, has now a method of killing off creeps very far away from his allies. So he doesn't really need to be babysat here. And he's going to get, like, every single creep wave because of how Plague Wards work. This easy gold for Bardino, man. And these items on Rubik are not really going to be, you know, the hugest game-swinging item pickups possible. But picking up like a, well, I was not going to say Yules, I was not going to say Force Staff. I was going to say Blink Dagger. I guess Force Staff kind of accomplishes a very similar thing. That might just make the difference. And also, just in killing all these creeps, he's picked up level 16, so no field now maxed out. Doesn't really read all that great compared to what the Anti-Mage has, resistant-wise. But we'll see how much Anti-Mage resistance has. Theo's going to spike Carapace the boat. Now here comes the cleave damage. Terrorblade has a Sunder, but he's getting bashed, and he won't even to get it off. Died mid-cast animation. Did I call this or what? Senior Vac is going to get zapped by Rubik. And now they're going to jump forward, looking for that bash still. The Gale is off the mark. Though never lucky, no bashes for the Anti-Mage. Has to back off. If they force out 2 buybacks, and there is also a situation on the bottom lane where DR and Aposa just shoving that lane in. They will quickly deal with that Nether Ward, but Madara has used his buyback, but more importantly, perhaps, he's used his Metamorphosis. So now for SG, they just have to fall back, not lose Bardino here, and then they can be able to take a fight. Unfortunately, he's already dead, so, you know, whatever. Metamorphosis is down. That's a big, big cooldown for the Luccini side, and it is not a cooldown that they can fight without. Anti-Mage, by the way, is like actually 6-slotted right now. When he has 30k net worth, it's pretty standard Anti-Mage stuff. Sometimes you just go off. Don't need boots, man. You know, if he gets that unlucky with bashes, he might need boots just to get hit a couple more times. But yeah, he's done farming. Rip Shadow Shaman. Yeah, I know, that's an old reference. It's a callback reference. And that initial reference was still pretty bad, so I guess that wasn't all that great. And now Anti-Mage gets to feed his allies items. He can get level 2 travels, he can hold Divine Rapiers, he can do all that shenanigan stuff. Hold a Refresher Orb in his backpack and do stuff like that. But ultimately, the Anti-Mage is done farming. He's not really going to get that much more powerful. So SG do really want to make a move right now. As much power as they will get from their other heroes, it won't really be more effective than the Terrorblade's farm or the Necrophos's farm. Going in for plays like this, though, this is how you bust up a high ground. Jericho is going to get you baited in. Coil onto 2 as fucking A is going to Abyssal the Necrophos and just tear him to shreds with the Mana Void. Gets 2 instantly with a 3rd soon after. Eul Scepter on the Venomancer. He's going to pop the Nova. It won't really connect onto that many heroes. And the Anti-Mage is running wild right now. Just manhandling Madara. Again, he does not have the Metamorphosis, and that's just going to end the game. These qualifying games have had like the weirdest game endings of all time. And this is definitely one of them. I mean, they lost a couple of heroes. They buy back. They use the Nova, but they don't have any Metamorphosis for I don't know how long. 30 seconds, let's say. In that 30 seconds, you're going to lose all your structures. The kill score looks rather even, but what was it, like a 20k lead at the end? Oh my god. That is pretty disgusting. So, yeah, that's Anti-Mage for you. An Anti-Mage who has not died. Did he even get close to dying? He died with the Aegis once, but, I mean, who cares about that? 934 GPM, and whenever you're in this situation as Luccini, you know that your game plan is go aggro, man. Just push, 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 fight, fight, fight. If you can get it done, if you can take Raxes, yeah, you're happy, but if the SG side are holding-ish, then it's all going to be SG's win as they bust in late game with the Anti-Mage. Guys, this is game 1 of the lower bracket finals. Winner of this has to face up against DCSA. I'm Mike Loris, and I'll be right back.